Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New York Jets.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday Nighter between the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. Here now comes the Jets offense, and the man that will be captaining the ship at 6'3", it's Sam Darnold.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
On first down, Darnold to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Well, he gets attended to. He'll step aside. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Thomas on the return. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
That's taken in by Callaway. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. At the 46-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, You go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but when he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
First down, here's the run with Cook. 20! And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Don't stop that game.
Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either. Once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
On the Jets sweep, here comes Jefferson.
And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Danny Shelton able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll still have a 3rd and goal now despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
41-yard line.
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Darnold on third down, and that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first three drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down this stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there.
And now it's third down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he finds his target. It's Sharp.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. And that's 2 big catches that he's had on this drive alone.
And I can hear it right now. If they give up a third to him, whoever does that, go stand on the other sideline. You're persona non grata on our team at that point.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Jets ready to get going again here on offense.
And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. We'll check on his status when we get back. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, and he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
To the 23-yard line.
Cook. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Flush to his right, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now he could write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Returnable for Thomas. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurtled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
We'll see how much they give on the ball here.
But we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. First and goal at the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back the intended target, but it'll be second and goal.
Second and goal.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's second down. The shotgun snap for Darnold. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
9 yards. And it's
The number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the visiting Cowboys who got the win on the road. 28-21, the final score. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. 28-21, the final score. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give it 30 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. 2nd and 11. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 3.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Flushed out right. And now he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
First down.
A first down throw, Darnold. Green's got it over the middle. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
Throwing again is Darnold. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now Green Well, staying on the ground. Let's hope he's all right. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Second down and 10.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. You think about it, Charles, this is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot, and that time he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get to the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
On the carry, it's Cook. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal.
On the Jets sweep, here comes Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to be set up with a first and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now, despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Back to throw, Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Loss of 7 yards.
And just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Third and long, it's Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Thomas. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this fourth quarter.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Out of the gun now on third down.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that is incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt.
Makes the score, Vikings 43, Jets.
So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
And the Jets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Second down and 10. Darnold looking sideline, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And that's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Returnable for Thomas. So a change of possession here on the punt. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And judging by our scoreline, they have 6-0 in their future. As they look to grind this one down a little, they've got it 1st and 10. They run with Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down now, it's Thomas. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
This is Thomas. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Tackling's obviously critical down near the goal line. That was great work there to make the hit behind the line and make sure he doesn't get any further. Did a really nice job wrapping up and not letting him loose.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now Thomas. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Point after here coming up. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
New York set to take the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something. Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining.
And 10 yards to go.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away.
It's 4th down.
That's pulled in at the 32. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Vikings, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.